Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So it hasn't been a while since I've done a video, but it's been a while since I've done a vlog, and I realised I never really finished the acrylic jewellery vlog series. I made like a really big deal about doing a series of them, and then I just never really finished it off with how it went and finishing up all of the branding and new branding and all of that kind of stuff. So the last vlogs that I've loaded about that were like the photo shoot street style video, which I'll leave all of the links down below, and the one before that was kind of like organising and also the new branding and stuff, and I just never like updated you guys because I procrastinate and the launch didn't go great, which I'm going to talk a little bit about in this video. And then I had a bit of a snafu with the brand, well, not the branding, sorry, I'm holding like a new tripod and I'm not very comfortable. So the branding I love, and I will show you the finished like packaging cards and packaging and stuff in this video. I just kind of wanted to finish up the acrylic thing and then start doing more vlogs because I've got ideas for vlogs, but I kind of was like, I kind of need to finish that bit. So that's what today's going to be. I'm just going to like ramble on for a little bit right now. So as I said, I had a bit of an issue and a meltdown and a breakdown when it came to the branding pieces, so the backing cards and stuff. So I finished the branding, I was super happy with it, which is the rainbow and the cloud I showed you 2 vlogs ago, as I said, and then it came time to printing. Now if you've never printed anything or you don't really never designed anything like that, then you may not know. So screens are set to RGB, which is red, green, blue, but printing, you only either print in Pantone, which is its own color swatch thing system, but most printers, if you've ever had to refill printer cartridges and stuff, they all print in CMYK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and then I think the K stands for black or something. Anyway, I should know this. So yeah, I should have known this. Also, especially as I listen to the people I work with. I work in content creation, but the company I work for does a lot of product development, packaging design, that kind of stuff. So all day, every day, they talk about Pantones and CMYK and printing and having these issues. So I have no idea why I did not like remember that at all. So obviously I designed everything on my computer like an idiot in RGB, and then it came time to print and I realised it needed to be in CMYK. Basically what that means is that you have to switch the colour profile, but obviously the same colours aren't available in the different colour profiles because they're mixing different colours and they use different colours. So I switched my design to CMYK and I just looked at it and I was like, it looks, and it just, a lot of times when you switch from RGB to CMYK, it goes a lot duller because RGB is like on screens, it's brightness, it's just super bright. Not saying CMYK isn't, but especially when you view it on a screen, it's just so dull, and I just panicked. I was like, I can't, like, what, like, I can't, this can't be happening. I finally got everything sorted and now it looks awful, but it's one of those things where CMYK, when it gets printed out and you see it in the human, you know, on the human eye and not on a screen, it usually looks okay. And also when you view it on a screen, you're viewing it in RGB and not CMYK, so when it prints, it's actually what it's meant to look like, blah blah, and it's a bit of a nightmare. So like I had to tweak some of the colors, and in my last vlog when I was talking about it, I wanted to do like loads of different colors of backing cards, but you just cannot get like a minty green in CMYK, or at least I just couldn't figure out a color that looked good. So everything has been done in yellow, and I just sort of did it and I hoped for the best, and as usual, I was being a bit of a drama queen and panicking about nothing because it came and they look amazing and I'm so happy. Yeah, it's definitely duller, but again, it's like the human eye, when it's in your hand, like you don't notice. You know, if I held it up to a screen, obviously it's duller because, you know, a screen is not real. So yeah, I just had like a massive panic, a massive breakdown, and I was just like, Mom! I was like texting my mum about it. Went into work, see if they could like help me out with it, and yeah, basically I will never do that again. Always remember CMYK, and you just got to sort of have a leap of faith and just hope the colours come out right. So yeah, that's basically the update on that, and I will show you right now what the backing cards and stuff ended up looking like. I didn't in the end get a business card made. 1, because I'm cheap, and 2, I just really sat down and was like, is it worth it? Like, as someone who personally, I collect business cards, I literally have like a business card holder like thing. I love it, and I love receiving business cards from people, and I really love it. But like, you know, let's be honest, all that does is sit in my drawer and I don't really look at it. I looked at it when I was designing because I needed inspiration, but I don't, you know, it's one of those things, it's like, does the world need another bit of cardboard with ink on it, and does the world need to use that electricity, and who's going to actually want what, you know? It's just one of those things where it's like, it's really nice, but like, really, does someone need a bit of card that says my Instagram handle on it, or could they just Google it if they really wanted to, or will they already be following me anyway? It's just one of those things where I thought, you know what, for now I'm not going to, because the cards have my website on them and people can just Google. So I'm still, that's obviously been a few months ago. It's now time. It's the current age. It is August right now, and you know, I've not had a complaint or anything, so I don't know, I might though, because I have a event coming up in November, just make a small run of business cards, because obviously I think they do have a place, but not maybe in orders. So yeah, that's the update on that. So let me just quickly go over the packing cards and stuff and the new packaging that I'm using, because I love it so much, and I love the yellow colour. I would never ever have used yellow on anything a few years ago, but it just reminds me of my dad, weirdly enough, and it reminds me of Daisy from My Green Cow, who's one of my oldest online friends and such a good friend. And yeah, so I'm really happy. So let me show you those, and then I will move on to how the launch and stuff went, because yeah. So these are all from Instant Print. So the first ones are these square ones, which I love the most. So these are actually the most expensive, which is really annoying, and they only come on like thicker cardstock, which is why they're so nice. But they obviously have the same design, so they're yellow with the clouds, and they have my URL at the bottom. But these are for stud earrings and things, and they are so nice. And then next is like a normal business card size, which is still a good quality, but the cardstock is slightly thinner. But these are like cheaper than these ones, which is annoying, but I understand why these are more expensive, and the color is a bit more vibrant on them. Not sure if you can tell, but these ones are for everything from dangly earrings to like simple necklaces and things. Like these are all sort of been readied for earrings, but I'm definitely going to still be putting like simple necklaces on them and stuff. And then the last one is this one, which I think is a leaflet size. I will put it in the description, and the colour has not come out quite as well on this one, because this is the thinnest of them, which if I was going to do these again, I'm definitely going to get these ones thicker and try and probably match the thickness. It's a bit more expensive, so it's sort of like, but these ones I think do definitely need to be thicker, because they are, actually, are they just as thin as these ones? Probably just as thin, but because they need to hold more weight, I think they should be thicker. But they all look amazing, and I am so happy, and I'm so surprised they've come out so nice compared to what I thought they were going to look like. So yeah, and then I also, not going to do this all the time because I'm cheap, but I also got stickers, which are just my logo in a circle, and they look so good on the packaging. I love it so much. So I'm really thrilled with how these stuff came out. And then here are some of the products on them. So these obviously I got made because of the wider heart necklaces that I make like this, which I love. So these are obviously the pastel one, I have a red one, and I have a black one as well. The studs on these things, I love how these look. I just think they look incredible on here. And then the pins also go on the like standard business card size, which look cute. And then here are some dangly, they're not put on properly right now, some dangly earrings on the business card size one. So yeah, I love how all of these came out. And I love the yellow and when purple, and I love them so much. And I finally also finished the design for the website, so I'll just put a scrolly little look at that on the screen right now, so you guys can see that as well. I'm really happy with how this branding came out. It's one of those times where it just came out exactly how I wanted it to, and obviously the printing has worked really well, and I just love the yellow, as I keep saying. So yeah, this is the branding and the products and the backing cards. Okay guys, so I've had to switch locations and switch cameras because filming in this flat is so hard, because there's always something just awkward in the background, even if it's like not messy, which it is right now obviously because it's me. There's just like a kitchen in the background or just something really ugly. So we're currently on my stairs, that's my dressing gown in the background. So anyway, so that was my backing cards, stickers, branding, and also I showed a quick clip of the website obviously. So I am so thrilled with that, all of that, as I said. So next thing to talk about is the actual launch. So there are a few things to unpack here, and I probably will be doing a separate sort of video on the idea of my shop not actually being that successful and people maybe not realizing. So anyway, let me just start with the launch. So we finally get past all the printing issues, it arrives, I'm super happy, and then the procrastination hits. So I promised myself this time around I'd be ready for the relaunch, because I never launch. I'm never ready for launches or updates or anything like this. I just never am, and I never learn. And yeah, so the same thing happened again, but worse. So this isn't even me being like, oh, I'm such a hot mess. Like, I was literally up like taking photos 5 minutes before the website was meant to go live. Like, it was just awful. And I really have no excuse other than the fact that I just get into these just like hot waves and holes of procrastination, and it's not just for my shop, it's for my life in general. And I stop looking after myself and cooking, and I just have like it's kind of like an apathy thing. This is not like a therapy session, by the way, guys. This is me trying to explain the best I can how I get into these situations, because I would like to think it's not just laziness. Like, there is a portion of that, I'm sure, that's just laziness, but it's like, it's just kind of deeper than that. But that's not something I want to talk about. I'm only talking about it to explain the fact that I was just unprepared as usual for the launch. And it's 3 months on, and still I have not launched or photographed, whatever it is, listed half of the designs that I designed for this collection. It's just a mess as usual. And if someone was to look at my launch, they would probably describe it as unsuccessful, and I would probably agree. And this is where the idea of making a separate video comes in, because it was unsuccessful. I barely sold anything. I put my own money into it, because it's not my full-time job. I have a full-time job, and I put my own money into it. So I'm technically at a loss. Obviously, I was never going to make the money back, you know, for the launch, but I've not really had many orders. So unsuccessful business-wise, I suppose. But again, this is where the idea comes from. I love running a shop, and it's not out of the ordinary for me to not get orders. I get orders like once every 2 weeks if I'm lucky, but I don't think people realise that, because I have very professional looking pictures, and I suppose now I'd like to think nicely illustrated and designed website and branding, and I just don't think people really understand that. And so unsuccessful from a business standpoint, but successful in terms of, you know, a couple of days ago I got a message from someone saying they bought the polka dot earrings in 2 colours, and I remember her order. She was one of the first people, and she said she'd been wearing them every single day, and did I have any more colours of them, which is wonderful. And you know, I've had friends buy a couple of things, so successful because the people who have bought, I've really enjoyed them. And honestly, I know I was going to keep some of the pieces for myself, because obviously I keep a sort of a piece for me for everything that I make. But I genuinely love the jewellery that I make. I adore it, and I mean, it's kind of worth it just for that. You know, I genuinely love the jewellery that I have made. I wear it pretty much, well now, there was a period where it was like every single day for a month, but now it's sort of like every other. But I like genuinely love it, and as I said when I've been talking about this jewellery, it is so nice to make something I wear, because the cupcakes are wonderful and the pastel acrylic jewellery has been great, but it's just not my style. But my style has evolved a lot now, and it's just so wonderful to make something. I mean, I'm passionate about everything, but you know, just to be able to wear and represent the stuff that I make, and I think it has been worth it for that. I have a shop not to make money. Of course, it is wonderful if I can make money from it, obviously, and that's definitely a thought in everything that I create. But I have a shop because it keeps me sane, because I love what I do. I love the people that I've met. It keeps me sane and grounded and creative, and I love it. And I kind of want to do a video on this because I was called unintentionally. I was called out a couple months ago. I say unintentional because it wasn't malicious. I don't agree with it, but it wasn't malicious. It was sort of an Instagram user talking about unrealistic standards and things on YouTube, which obviously has been a PSA and going around about vloggers for ever now. But she was talking about how hard it is to run a shop and how sometimes people maybe don't realise. And I was mentioned, sort of, I think for the reasons I mentioned earlier. You know, I've got I'd like to think nice photography, and you know, I seem to have a few accounts that I run and I just seem to be on top of things, which I am so obviously not. And I think I was used as an example of someone who's maybe portraying, and again, I don't think she was said, you know, on purpose, obviously, but someone would look at my site and it would make them feel bad. But this person, I'm pretty sure has never seen any of my vlogs where I'm obviously completely honest about everything. You know, was never spoken to me. And it's just one of those things where it's like, well, it's not my fault. You know, I'm not going around like I get 100 orders a day. It's not lying. I can't help that people get an impression. You know, I love the fact that people have that impression that it's professional looking and successful looking, but that's just not the case. If someone asked me and was like, how many orders do you get a week, I'd be like, none. You know, like, if someone asked me these things, like, it would not be me lying. I've never lied about that. I hope I don't give that impression in these vlogs. You know, it's a mess. I am a mess. And I'm not, as I said, I'm not in it for the money or anything like that. So was this acrylic a success? No. I'll be completely honest about it. Am I working on it? Does my shop satisfy me and keep me sane and grounded and creative, as I said? Yes. So I suppose an extra video isn't now really needed because I'm talking about it here. But it's not, yeah, I don't know, it's really hard because, like I said, this person didn't do it maliciously. You know, I messaged them and said that I didn't really agree with that, because if you've been following me for ages or you look at anything that I do or any of my stories, you know I'm a hot mess. You know that the shop, you know, it's not my full-time job and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like I completely agree with the whole people need to be aware that Instagram, you know, gives a certain impression, but it's not on the people blogging or making a living or having a shop to blast that, oh, this month was really bad, like, it's, you know, I didn't make any money, or, you know, pins have been ruined in transport. You know, no one followers don't have the right to everything of a person, but I think it's important to educate people that it's, you know, not real, or some people make things look a bit better than they are, whether that's for their sanity or, you know, maybe to show off a bit, whatever it is. So yeah, this is kind of a rambly video, and I was meant to keep it short and sweet, but I don't think it's going to be short and sweet anymore. But yeah, so was it a success? Probably not. Am I still happy? Yes. Would I love to sell more things? Of course. But we're working on it, and that's just life, and that's just who I am, and there's nothing wrong with not being successful in everything that you do. You know, that's just life, and I just wanted to update you. So that is the update on what has been happening with the acrylic stuff. But I've done a launch since that, you know, I've done a restock since then with cupcakes and resin, and I just have so many ideas and so many amazing things that I want to work with. Whether they're successful or not, I'm still going to do them. So yeah, let me know if you kind of want an extra video of me sort of chatting about that kind of thing. As I said, I do want to do one on the Wix thing and where you host your site and all that kind of thing. But I just wanted to get real deep with you guys and talk about the fact that I struggle with procrastination and running a shop, and I don't want anyone to ever think that it's easy or that I'm trying to make it look a certain way. But also, it's none of your business at the same time. It's a tricky subject. But anyway, that's where I'm going to end this video because it's super rambly and this camera is so heavy to hold. I hope you guys are having a great time being creative, making good things, being successful or unsuccessful. Just doing you, because life is not perfect. So I will see you in my next video, and I love you guys.